Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we're going to be finally covering the new Boundless Ichigo. I actually did obtain him before getting Grimmy. If you did watch my last video, we obtained Grimmy, unrivaled. However, I did want to make the video on him since he does buff all peroxide units, so I wanted to make Ichigo as strong as he could be. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so first off, to actually obtain Ichigo, you do have to come over here to the raid section. Come over here and you should be able to get him from the Hueco Mundo raid. Yep, top of Hueco Castle. Come over here at either Act 5 or the boss rush, and it does drop Ichigo. And then what you'll have to do is, you see these little souls here? You'll have to take these, collect, I believe it's 800 of them. I'm pretty sure it's 800. Let's see. Open the raid shop. And let's see, go to Reaper. Nope, that's Hollowed Eclipse. That's what you need to go to. And then you'll need these hollow essences to go ahead and evolve Ichigo. So he has two evolutions. The first one is going to be Ichigo Rage, and then it's going to turn him into Boundless Ichigo. So you will need two of these total, and then you'll have to collect, of course, the regular evo materials like the fragments and everything. And then that is how you evolve Ichigo to his Boundless form. To get the rest of Ichigo's evil materials, you will actually have to come over and do the universal tear for the Moonless Sky Rift, and it does drop from here as well. The pity isn't too bad, so you should be able to get the Moonless Blade. That will be for Ichigo. Yuwak's stuff also drops from here. You will also need a Boundless Orb, of course, since he is a Boundless unit, and you also get Grimmy Frag from here. So I definitely think the Universal Tear is something you will be wanting to do anyway, so you probably won't have to farm for that if you're farming for the other units. Alright, now before we get into the showcase, I am going to show you what I am running on my Ichigo. So I'm running the Shadow Reaper shirt, only a 1-star unfortunately, with of course the main damage. And the same for the Reaper pants, since it will give him the Soul Reaper buff. And I just gave him a Shadow Reaper necklace, which is what I had on him. I do believe this is the best build for him. I'm not too sure on that, but I did go ahead and I filled in relics for everything. So, and of course we already have Ruler on him, but since we have everything ready, we'll go ahead and get into the showcase. Alright, so I did go ahead and I loaded up into an infinite where we can test out Ichigo, and I did bring Yuwak because he does have a passive that buffs in infinite, so I'm going to try to maximize Ichigo's damage as much as I can, and I'll just give like my opinion on how realistic it is and everything, because this isn't necessarily a super realistic team. You would have to probably replace Virtual Idol with maybe Fast Cart, I would say, so you can run Fern, you would run Grimmy, Ichigo, Yuwak, Fern, and then Fast Cart Bulma. That's what I would run on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna farm up some money, and then we'll go ahead and start with the showcase. Alright, so I did go ahead and I farmed up some money, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sell Yuwak here, and I'm gonna replace him with Ichigo. Ichigo's going to take care of that. Okay, and then I'm going to place Yuwak back. I think I'm gonna place him. Yeah, I'm gonna place him right here, because every wave that he's activated, I'm actually gonna max him out. Because this isn't a Yuwak showcase, but I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys. So whenever you max him out and use his ability, he gets the ability to buff others or self buff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buff others so that he starts buffing other people, because every single wave he gains a new passive. And in infinite, so as you can see, like there's different ones here, so like World Raid, Rift, Ultra Boss, Infinite, everything is different for the buffs to other people. But in Infinite, every wave after he's placed, it caps out at 200% damage and negative 10% SBA. So we are trying to make Ichigo as strong as we can. So we are going to upgrade him and leave him back here. We'll also place Grammy just because. All right, now let's go ahead and get on to the Ichigo showcase. So with Ichigo on placement, he is going to be 8.3k, and that is with my stats. There probably are better. I think I only have A on him, maybe S. But of course, if he has SSS, he'll have more. Alright, but let's go ahead and we'll read the unit info so we can see all of his passives. Here's all the relics that I'm running on him with all of the stats. And then here are the passives. Alright, let's see. On stun / debuff. Okay, that works well with Yuwak because he's always debuffing. Ignore the stun, debuff, and counterattack for 100% damage. If the counter hasn't been triggered in 15 seconds, counterattack for 125% damage, but don't apply pressure. And what pressure does is, if you read the other ones, we'll get to that. Pressure, it actually pushes them back. So it does have like a sort of repulse. He is sort of like a small support, not like a crazy support, but he does actually push units back, thankfully. It's very useful. But all right, let's go on to the next one. So Final Moonfang. So what this is, okay, whenever Ichigo reaches max upgrade, which is what we'll take him through, we'll go ahead and go through his upgrades. All right, upgrade. All right, here he gets a new move. Let's see, we'll go ahead and check that out. If he does it. Hold on. Nothing spawning. Okay. Wait, do I have his VFX disabled? No, they're enabled. They're enabled, right? Oh no, I enabled them. Okay, now they're enabled. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, that's his new move. I'll cut it. I'll put in a clip of his original move. Actually, I'll just sell him and replace him right now, and we can put that in right now. Oh, okay, that's his basic. Okay, he just does slashes. Let's get back to where we were. Counter slam. Go ahead and upgrade even further. Okay, so that's his final move. Okay, and then, as you can see, he's applying pressure and pushing them back. So very useful. He just keeps pushing them back. It's really nice. But let's go back to the unit info. Final Moonfang. So what that does, let me actually go ahead and upgrade my Grimmy because we do not want to lose. I think Yawk's fine, but we'll just take care of that anyway. All right, anyway, 195k on max upgrade. But what makes him really crazy is his final Moonfang form. So you use the active ability, and then he goes Mugetsu. And then he gets all these buffs: 250% damage, 50% crit rate, 250% critical damage, final Moonfang attack for 650% damage, and then of course on attack you lose 10%. So the mode isn't forever, it's not permanent, it is only temporary, so it's not like that strong because it does run out. And whenever it does run out, each buff reaches 0%, so he just runs out of his form completely. He enters human form for 30 seconds and he gets down to first upgrade, so you'll have to re-upgrade him again. So it's a little annoying, but it's okay because he does have a lot of good like perks and passives. So but overwhelming strength on attack, every single attack he applies pressure for 10 seconds and confusion for 2 seconds as well. Enemies take 25% damage from all sources, so he can stack up a lot of damage because that does pair with your walk as well. When attacking an enemy with pressure, which he applies on every single attack, he does 50% extra damage to them. And if they're within half of his range, when an enemy with pressure enters half this unit's range, he deals 50% damage to the enemy. So once the enemy like gets close to him and is in half of his range, he just deals 50% damage to the enemy. All right, and then on attack, he also releases a lingering follow-up attack, 60% damage per second for 3 seconds. And for every enemy the first hit kills, increase follow-up duration by 1 second, cap 10 seconds. So he does do follow-ups, and when the follow-up ends, 10% critical damage for 100%, and follow-up cooldown is 10 seconds. So he does do follow-ups with extra crit damage. Overall, I think Ichigo he's not like a bad unit or anything. I don't think he's like as crazy as Yuwak or anything, or Grimmy. Grimmy's like actually crazy. Like, oh my god, guys, I've been like testing him off stream, off video. He's crazy, guys. I think he's like top 3, 100%. He's crazy. I think the new Bleach team is honestly better than the Dragon Ball team. I watched a crazy video on it, but Grimmy is just insane, and so is Yuwak, because you know they couldn't do it without each other. They just buff each other really hard. And Ichigo does fit in because he is, you know, he counterattacks on debuffs. I don't know if that actually works with Yuwak or not, but Ichigo does apply pressure and pushes back, so he makes them take more damage. So Ichigo is not a bad unit at all. I just don't think he shines as much as Grimmy or Yuwak. They are just really good units, guys. But that is going to be it for Ichigo as for now. But what I am going to do is, we are on wave 29. I think I'll get back to you guys on like wave 80 or so whenever Yuwak's passive maxes out, and then I will go ahead and I'll place Ichigo over here, and he'll get like a 200% damage increase, and then we'll place Virtual Idol and buff him with Fern as well. So I'll get back to you guys once we do hit a higher wave. Okay, so we actually are on a little bit of a higher wave. I didn't wait fully for Yuwak to get his full buff, but I actually did not showcase Final Moonfang, so I am going to showcase that. But I am going to max out Ichigo's damage before I do go ahead and showcase that. So I'm going to do the Bulma buff. Let's see, go ahead and summon, and we'll just do 15%. So it's probably better, honestly, if we do crit rate on him, but we are going to do damage because we are going to be able to buff him with Fern, and he'll have like 90% or so. And we can probably get another relic on him that's better with more crit rate. All right, let's see. So he's doing 213k, and that doesn't have idle buff. So I'm actually going to go ahead and upgrade idle so that he does get full damage buff. And we are up to 253k, and we're going to use enamoring music for the maximum buff. 361k damage on Ichigo, and we'll use Final Moonfang and make him enter his Mugetsu. All right, come on. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now, see, he's doing crazy damage now. 671k, and then on each hit, he loses a buff, and his mode is running out. So every hit, he loses, he loses 10% of his buff. And let's see, I think enamoring music actually ran out, so let's check that out. Yeah, it did. Let me see, how does, yeah, 640k? I believe it's every hit, right? Am I wrong? No, I think it is every hit that he loses his buff, right? 609,000. Down to 500k. Oh no, that's because the idol went away. Okay, well, anyway, His form runs out, and then when it does run out, like I said earlier with the passive, he does go into human form for 30 seconds, and you gotta re-upgrade him again. He's kind of expensive, so I don't know, man. I don't think he's a bad unit. Just like I said, he does not shine like Grimmy does, as well as Yuog. They're just really good characters, and I am going to wait until this runs out, and then once this runs out, I'm going to farm up some more waves for the buff on Yuog, because we are on wave 43 right now. I do have it buffing him. See, like here, you can look at this. Every 2.5% damage, and then 1% SBA cap for 10%. Every wave after the unit is placed. So we are going to wait to max that out so we can get the most damage that we can achieve on Ichigo, just so we can go ahead and get that in the video, because why not? I mean, not everyone does that. So I'll be back with you guys once this runs out. Let me see. It's almost out right now. Come on, 284k. I love how I'm wishing for... Oh, I think he's about to enter human form. I think this is his last one. Let's see. Yeah. Wait, yeah. Yep. Okay, now he's in human form. And he's going to be in human form for 30 seconds, I do believe. So, yikes. I think it's shorter because I have it on 1.5. But, man. He just got to re-upgrade him again. He's going to reset. Hold on. And then you have to upgrade him all again. Okay, 3%. All right, there we go. And then now, you just got to re-upgrade him again. You can use it again and cycle your money. But, like, I don't know. It's just not very cost efficient for most raids, so I don't know. That's typically like a boss killer in my opinion, but he's not bad. It is good. I just, maybe they should like buff him a little bit and rework that. But he does apply pressure, and he pushes the enemies back, and they take more damage when they have pressure applied to them as well. So I think he's a good unit, but I'll go ahead and I will get back to you guys whenever we are on a higher wave, so we can go ahead and maximize his damage with Fern buff as well. Oh man, alright, after a long wait, you know, his damage buff is maxed out. Placed him on wave 13. After 80 waves, it maxed out. So, alright, let's go ahead and let's place Ichigo down. So, okay, first off, you know, he went from 8k to 20k, and that's with all the buffs around him. Idle. We actually haven't applied Fern. Let's apply Fern buff to him. Alright, I'm gonna up his crit rate. Now his crit rate is 93%, so he's almost always critting. Alright, and Yuwok's buffing him fully. Let's go ahead and upgrade him to max. Okay, so on max upgrade, as you can see, the SBA has went down to 5.37 from like 6.16, and he is now doing 483,000, and we'll go ahead and use enamoring music to see his maximum damage. Okay, 590k without Mugetsu. Like, we haven't even popped the mode yet. That is actually insane. That's crazy. Now, listen, this isn't a realistic thing that's going to happen all the time, of course. You're not always going to have 200% damage buff, but that is just a crazy damage number for no Mugetsu. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop enamoring music, and then we're going to go ahead and pop his Mugetsu. All right, let's actually pop it now. We'll put him in the mode. Mugetsu. Hell yeah, bro. Okay, let's pop enamoring music. Now let's look at the damage. Okay, we got him to 900,000 damage. 5.37, 54.8 range. That's pretty busted. I'm not going to lie. Was it worth the wait? No, honestly, not really. It's not worth it, guys. If I were you, I would trade out Virtual Idol for like a fast cart and run like Grimmy, Ichigo, Walk, Fern, fast cart, and Bulma. That's what I would run. I think that might be like low-key new meta team, because Grimmy gets kind of crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys see his damage over here or not. I know this isn't about him, but it's kind of crazy. 607,000. Oh, hold on, there's enamoring music. Where is it? 750k. I mean, look at his clones, man. Kind of crazy. Walk over here doing 500k, and he's not even buffing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, these new bleach units are kind of crazy. But we did showcase Ichigo. Bro is not bad at all. He's actually very good in my opinion. But that is going to be it for the video, guys. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. You know, we are going up in subs. We're at 450 right now, and it would be lovely if we could hit 500. But I'll see you guys in the next video.